I'm Evelyn, and I'm a Geoholic.
The 5th of Jack.
Comes in fast, buddy.
It does.
You weren't ready for that.
They say I was drunk, I threw a punch, I caught some big old bouncer dumps. He kicked me out, I snuck back inside. And that's how I got these 2 black eyes. I got lonely, called my ex. Second I come over, she said I guess. So I called a lift. He picked me up. About halfway there, I blew some chunks. He
It's like my life story.
It is,
in
right?
a song.
I know now why you like this song so much.
You were thinking it. I know you were. Oh, that's awesome. Welcome back, Geoholics. I'm feeling dumb today. No, I just drooled. This might be a really long episode.
Or really short. You never know.
Exactly. I might just throw in the towel and say screw it. Anyways, welcome back, Geoholics, episode 281.
Yeah, 281, believe it or not.
Passed another threshold. As you like those big, fat, round
Now
numbers.
we're just staring at 300.
Yep. We'll be there before you know it.
I know. It'll happen.
It might be next year before we release it, but at the rate we're going.
We're getting caught up. We are getting caught up.
Oh, man. We've been busy.
Yeah, that's right.
Doing lots of different things.
That is right.
Speaking of being busy, last week I was at the ASPRS Gulf South Region Conference.
How was that? Is that your first trip to Louisiana, correct?
Yes, very first trip to Louisiana.
Yeah, what'd you think?
Spent a couple days in Thibodeau.
Okay.
The home of Nichols State University.
Okay.
Very quaint little campus, about 6,500 students.
Quaint.
They do have a geospatial program, which was really cool. But they were on spring break. So it was like Deadsville.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah. But I did find a couple local establishments to go and belly up and meet some locals, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
There was a dive bar, which is where I like to go, called Grows.
Like
GROS.
Okay.
Gross. But I'm like, I have got to go to Gross.
That's your spot.
So I went there. I'm going to make this really short story.
Okay.
Had a beer, bought a koozie, bought a t-shirt. Of course I had to. Went back to the hotel, woke up the next day. Oh, koozie's really cool. I'll open up the t-shirt. There's nothing on it. It was just a blank t-shirt. But it was supposed to say like Gross Tavern and all this cool stuff on it.
How did you buy a blank t-shirt? Do you not just like hold it up before you buy it?
No.
Like, oh, this is what this is going to look like?
No, the girl just handed it to me, and why would I question it? Why would I question it? So anyways, they're so nice. I just went back the next day and said, hey, this is a really funny story, and showed it to them. They're like, yeah, we'll give you another one, blah, blah, blah. But it was so cool. It was a really, really cool little dive bar. I had a great time there, and then spent the weekend in New Orleans where I had never been before.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. Got to catch up with my second cousin, Brandon.
Okay.
Who's the GM at Emeralds. So that worked out in my favor.
Yeah, sure.
That worked out in my favor. Had a really nice visit with him, and just, as you say, or as they say, painted the town. Had a great time.
Awesome.
Tons of stuff.
You do realize that you told that entire story of that trip and didn't mention the conference that you went to once.
Oh, yeah. Back to the conference. It was fantastic. Second time going to the ASPRS Gulf South Region Conference. Our good friend Bill Swope, of course, is one of the facilitators, does a fantastic job every year. It's a small conference. I'm not going to lie. It's a small conference, but very powerful group of individuals.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
Had a great time, had some great conversations, moderated a geospatial panel. And I already got invited back next year. You might want to go.
I'm thinking about it.
Dallas. He's like, nope, maybe not.
Yeah. I was excited about Louisiana, but okay.
It's Dallas. So anyways, as usual, this episode is powered by EMLID, EMLID, making aerial and terrestrial surveys faster and easier than ever before. To find out more, simply go to emlid.com. What's new with you, buddy?
Same old, quite busy on the work front.
Yeah.
Got lots of stuff cooking. I also, I moved into a new house, in July. So it's been, I don't know, however many months that would be. And I had decided, I made a point that I was not going to do any home improvement things, for a while. And I broke down and finally, ripped the wallpaper off of the guest bathroom. And now I'm in the process of fixing that problem that I created for myself.
You sent me a picture of that, and I'm like, you are a better man than I am.
I saw that. quite a tedious process.
That is that picture is my worst nightmare. That's all I can say.
Yeah, it was a whole thing. But so I ripped the Band-Aid, almost literally, so to speak.
Yeah.
And we're off and running. So now it's project time. Next up is a treehouse.
A treehouse?
Yeah.
Oh my God. You're crazy, dude. You're absolutely insane.
What's new with you? Other than, you're tripping
I just had
everything.
A great weekend. Great week
you stayed in New Orleans till like Sunday, right?
Till Sunday.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was super cool. I had a great time. Did a ton in like 48 hours. That's for sure.
Nice.
But I do want to go back. They have like what's supposed to be the best World War II museum on the planet.
Interesting. Okay.
But from what I hear, it takes like a day to get through it and just didn't have that amount of time. So maybe we'll go back again some other time. Be great. Other than that, everything's good. Work's good. Life's good. Can't complain.
Awesome.
Yep.
Is there anything new in the industry? What's our next event?
Next event, next month. Well, two things actually. In 2 weeks, we'll be in Boise for the initial 250-year initial.
Oh, that's right.
America 250 the initial point celebration.
Yeah, the point.
Yep. So we'll be podcasting from their event on Saturday, which is going to be at the old penitentiary.
That's right.
That was built in the 1800s.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's going to be super cool. And then after that, we'll be at Topo.dot user conference in May. So in Orlando.
Nice.
Yep. And then after that, who knows? Sky's the limit.
Sky is the limit.
We got some big things coming up. Stay tuned for more.
Yeah.
Of course, our weekly updates are brought to you by our good friends at Topo.dot. The Topo.dot user conference, as we just mentioned, is celebrating its 10th anniversary. And the dates of that user conference, being in Orlando, of course, May 11th through the 15th.
You can still get tickets.
You can still get tickets, yes, but you should act fast, especially if you want to get cheap airfare. Okay, tell us about that song of the week there, buddy.
That was a gentleman named Cooper Allen. Song is Plead the Fifth. Mm-hmm. Cooper Allen is an American country music artist known for blending traditional country sounds with a modern, high-energy style. I think we heard that. His music often mixes humor, storytelling, and relatable themes, resonating with the younger generation of country fans. And Kent. With a strong independent approach, Cooper has released popular tracks like New Normal and To the Bar, steadily growing his presence in the country music scene. He continues to tour and expand his fan base while redefining how artists connect with audiences in the digital age.
Yeah, he's kind of a cutting edge kind of guy.
Yeah, I can see that.
Following on social media. He just, I don't know, one of those guys that's just kind of he's really talented. He does a lot of really fun stuff. I'm a fan, no doubt about it. Hence the reason I picked that song, and it does sound like my life story. So
I can see that.
all things considered. Our song of the week is brought to you by All Terra Central, your Trimble dealer for all things survey mapping and even marine gear. To find out more, simply go to allterracentral.com and tell them the Geoholics sent you, because there's always like promos happening with these friends of the program. So make sure you mention our name. Next up, the Leica Geosystem Weekly Pro Tip. This is applicable to our guest today. What you got?
All right. The cheapest utility you'll ever locate is the one you never hit.
Let's digest that. The cheapest utility you'll ever locate is the one you never hit. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead.
That means, the one you hit is the more expensive one.
Yes, that makes sense. Yeah. Gotcha.
Before boots hit the ground, stack your intel. Records research, platforms like 4M Analytics, and early coordination. When you combine digital insight with field verification, you're not just reducing risk, you're protecting your schedule, your budget, and your reputation. Dig smart, not sorry.
That should be a t-shirt.
That should be a t-shirt.
With a 4M logo on it.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we're on to something here. To find out more, simply visit LeicaGeosystems.com. Leica, when it has to be right.
Oh, you're good at that.
All right. See what I did there?
Yeah.
All right. Our guest this week is brought to you by our good friends at David Evans & Associates. To find out about the DEA difference, visit DEAinc.com. DEA will be represented at the Boise initial point celebration.
Right. Yeah.
Yep. It's going to be a lot of fun.
That's cool.
Our guest this evening, let's get him in here, is Itzik Malka, born in Israel. He is the 4M Analytics CEO and co-founder with our good friend Raz.
Yes, that's
Had
right.
him on previously. Great guys. Hobbies include playing soccer, plays music, and he loves hanging out with his kids. I'm excited to talk to Itzik. Itzik, welcome to the Geoholics. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for hosting me, guys. really appreciate the opportunity.
Absolutely. Let's first ask you the general question. Talk about the genesis of 4M. Where did this idea come from?
Yeah, so I would use one word to describe my journey, and I'm using it every time I want to understand the reason of being. It's the serendipities. I grew up in a very small town, 1 mile, maybe 1.5 mile from Gaza Strip. And we were like the first city that impacted from, being close. And I think I was going to the military, served in the special forces to train to deal with explosives, detection and clearance, and ended up, after 10 years of military service, commander platoon, major in reserve, decided to do something with my military expertise and tried to reverse it into doing some good back to humanity. So I thought I'm going to go and help recover post-conflict regions from explosive remnants of war with my expertise, and ended up co-founding 4M Defense, which the name 4M is coming from, which recently that was the biggest company in Israel in the space of detection and clearance of landmines and explosive remnants of war. And last October, it's been acquired by a defense NASDAQ to go and to expand the capabilities to do it in the regions that need it. So really good closure there. But that's kind of one angle. I was always innovative person, tried to find better ways to not to dispatch people to a riskier environments. And I thought about, after thousands of acres that I have recover, I thought about the patterns that we saw about landmines. And I thought, what if I'm going to build a multi-source data fusion engine that could inject imagery, but also other data sets, but mostly imagery, and to do a time-lapsing to be able to predict the past by finding phenomena like explosion potholes or fans that have been removed or vegetation that grew differently because nobody was entered the field. So I thought I could help predict those locations of suspected areas and find better ways, to dispatch people and to use effectively the approach to decide, to prioritize where to go first. Ended up with a very compelling success correlation to the system prediction to the actual mine location uncovered. I said to my co-founder, you know what? With those outcomes, let's go and raise some money to actually build, instead of prototyping it, let's build the product itself. And he said, what do we have to do with data and software and like tech company? I said, we're going to figure this out, but let's go ask for money. Nobody was intent to give me a dime because it was too risky to the portfolio. But one of them, the kindest one, said, here's why I'm not going to invest. And he said, like, it's a very lengthy go-to-market. You want to sell it to the UN, International Mine Action Standard, and it's going to be very complicated to sell it to a very, I would say, challenged countries around the world. And so I said, okay, so what do I have to do? So go to understand the hypothesis behind investments, go to read the investability thesis, like the how big is the market, the TAM, why the technology is going to solve it, why you, the team, what's the traction that you could show that people are using it or wants to use it or willing to use it. What's the time? Why is the timing now? Why nobody did it before you? And show me the evidences to the 10x and, all of kind of those. So I thought, okay, now I get it. And so I did what everybody did before ChatGPT. I went to Google and asked, what can I do with something that could seize beneath the ground that could address those questions? And he said, like, in the US, you have ecosystem for the design and engineering. That's the subsurface utility engineering practice. 382202 was the first one. I found Jim Anspach lecturing to the American Association of Civil Engineering from 2011. That was 2018.
Yeah.
And I was amazed by the fact nobody centralized the Google Maps version of what's below the ground. You could use Google Maps to see the above, but nothing to see the below. And I found also what you have seen many times, and you're probably going to remember this after this call, the spray paints and the flags you go and see walking down the street. And I was amazed that in 21st century, you have Waymo in one side of the street, and the other one is like located with a spray paint stencil.
That's funny. Yeah.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
That was the aha moment for me. I said, nobody centralized the Google Maps version. So I used the Google because I know about the hypothesis behind the investment now. So I said, I'm going to be the Google Maps of the network of all networks that drive services to our life. I'm going to help secure the continuity and resiliency and future development. And I'm going to do it because you need to understand the location and the state of those utilities that drive services to our life, like water, like electricity, oil and gas, communication services, sewer. And that was resonating pretty good. So I raised 45 million, used that money, and that's the beginning of the story.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
That's insane.
I love it. Crazy. That is crazy. So how do you, so like you mentioned it, you said that, the goal is for Forum to be like the Google Maps of underground utilities, right? That's a pretty lofty goal, right? I'm just curious, like, how did you start? Like, and where does all this utility information come from in order to build this map?
Yeah, when I found the Jim Ansbach lecture, I realized that every time somebody wants to plan around breaking the ground, he needs to reach out, call the 811, call before you dig. Yep. And you're going to get a list of names that you need to reach out to in order to ask their data sets. And I realized that the data set that you're going to get is probably a snapshot in time of somebody that has been sent out behalf of them. And I realized that there is like crazy disconnect between what they use as data, which I would say some version of as designed. And I was a contractor myself, so I signed many as designed as builds because I wanted to get paid. So I realized that the deviation starting from
oh my God, as builds, don't get us going on.
Yeah, right.
The worst.
I used to call them like wannabe, wish to be.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
In a perfect world.
Yeah. So I realized that if I'm going to be able to understand like the differences if I'm going to be able to connect the disconnect between what could have been designed to what actually been implemented, it's the thing. And I said, I'm going to start with convincing people that my data set is going to be good enough for the preliminary phase of linear kind of complexity score. I called it like, I'm going to be good enough for giving you the spicy meter for construction complexity, or like how complex it's going to be in terms of like what's below the ground. And by doing so and convincing them that the damage prevention, that's the other market, needs to start with a good enough data at the pre-planning phase, feasibility, it's going to encompass everything towards the design. So it was a good decision at the time to say good enough. But now I'm going to tell you about it. But now we're in a very good place to say that if you're talking about reducing risk, like if you're talking about actuary, because actually everything that we do today, sending people to the field with sensors, it's locating the fact, but actually it's actuary, because that's the way we know how to mitigate the risk below the ground. And they're going to go based on records, and the records was created without GPS systems even being exist. So I said, I need to come up with a better way. And I said, I'm going to go on the computer vision side. I'm going to train machines to actually see. And by seeing, is believing. That's the kind of like the statement I want to go after. And I said, everything I'm going to give you needs to be visually verified and with visually, like visual based reasoning behind it. So that was the decision we took to go on like computer vision. And because you can't really see what's below the ground, but you can see everything above the ground that relates to indicates that something is connected. You could see pedestals, manholes, hydrants, poles, storm inlets, communication boxes, like anything that you could imagine, spray paints. but not just one. You could see 10 years of spray paints. You could see the duration. You actually could see like the same locating company, the same site, 2 different dates will deliver 6 feet off of locate. And then you're saying, and I'm not accusing anybody, like some of them will be very good, some of them will be, but there is inconsistency where you're using manual work because you have humans that drive the work, and you don't know if the human came from, his wife pissed him off the other day, or he was disturbed by many other reasons. But that's the way you conduct in the work. So I said, I want to reduce the human error. Yep. That's why I said machines will provide that layer, the foundation layer, to make those decisions. So that's kind of
what you're providing. Like, how do you quantify it? Like, do you commit to it being good enough for planning, or is there more to it?
Yeah, it's more to it. When we started, we said good enough, and the way that we did, defined the good enough was kind of anything that you could find on a publicly available records, or you're gonna get from the owners that you're reaching out on a 6 feet off. That was kind of tolerance that we used. And that was good enough for, like I said, I never used the word accuracy. Because, and that's the claim of accuracy, because I said this to many people, including Jim Anspach. When I said to him, I'm going to be good enough, his reaction at the beginning, when he decided to work with me, he was the godfather of the subsurface utility engineering. Yeah. And when like, it's a nice story to tell, just to understand who is Jim. I want you to tell it, because we know Jim, and he's a great guy. He's amazing. Yeah. He's my mentor, and I'm so grateful to have him in my life, in my journey as well, but also as a friend. And when I convinced Jim, after a few attempts that he didn't want to take it, and I said to him, Jim, help me build it. Help me, and he have seen many people before for RAM that come with the same notion of we're going to build it. We're going to build a network, the digital depiction of the network. And he knows it's very, very complicated. So when I came up with the good enough, he said, no, you need to be the most accurate data set that you ever could. And I said, but Gene, there is no substance. There's nothing out there that you could use to argue about accuracy. Yeah. Let me first be the substance. Let other people to argue about, but they're going to argue about accuracy from my substance. I said to him, you are never going to be able to find any company that wants to be the ground zero and even use the zero thing. Yeah. And that was kind of kept me. And I think it's also the way I see the company. I don't want to overpromise. I want to say something and to over deliver it. Right. And he's saying I'm going to be 99.65 accurate. I'm coming from 99.65 accuracy from the landmines. This is kind of the international mine action standard. And when I went to investigate where the number is coming from, I ended up, people told me it's statistical mathematics or whatever. I said, no. One person said everybody would come up with something, but basically it's kind of the human element within the practice. So nobody wants to take 100%. There is no 100%. So 99.65 is the way to say human involved. You're never going to get 100. But I've been taught that you need to do, when you're mitigating risk and risk management and actuary, you have to do every possible effort to remain with reasonable and tolerable risk. And that's what I wanted to do. And I said, forget about the percentage of confidence that you're going to have. I said, let's start with the substance. Let's give completeness and comprehensive. That means if there is 6-7 utilities out there, and I know within the right of way where they're going to be positioned, who is going to be before the other one, and that's what you need. And if we're going to be 2, 3, 4 feet off, it's better than if we are missing a section of a gas pipeline that could cause injury, death, like we saw in the Lexington, Missouri, April 2025, when that was a devastating event when a 5-year-old kid died because of that miss. 20 times somebody, a locator, been sent out to the same place, but the records didn't show that there's a section. But if you could see from visual evidences the meter of that house, you could indicate that there is gas exist. So I'm not saying let's displace what you used to do. I'm saying it's call before you dig, but 4M it before you call.
I think I just had an aha moment, to be honest with you. So like you're not certifying to accuracy, but what you are doing is certifying to awareness that there more than likely is a utility here that you need to be aware of.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of, I want to be giving you the ability to understand what's there, not just from a standpoint of this is the records. I want to show you it. I want to show you those indicators that, tells you that something is buried and something needs to be further investigated. And it's not instead. It's with. That's the way.
It's an addition.
It's an addition. I don't want to displace anybody. I want everybody has its place, and we could work together.
Altera Central. Altera Central is the authorized premier Trimble dealer for survey, mapping, GIS, forensics, and marine equipment in Texas, Oklahoma, Arizona, and New Mexico.
Yeah, we love these guys. The studio sponsor for the Geoholics this year. They have 8 offices and provide sales, rentals, repairs, and support for the full line of Trimble products. GPS, GNSS receivers, robotic total station scanners, Seiko accessories, mobile mapping systems, used equipment and field supplies, including Juniper receivers and tablets, LaserTech Troop Pulse rangefinders, and micro drone UAVs.
You definitely drew the short straw on that one. To find out more, go to alteracentral.com.
Let's talk about Carlson Software. Founded in 1983, Carlson Software is a privately owned international market leader in CAD design software, field data collection, laser measurement, and machine control products for the civil engineering, surveying, GIS, construction, accident reconstruction, and mining industries worldwide, providing one-source technology solutions for the entire project cycle.
You're dialed in right now.
I know, right?
Carlson's culture is always on the forefront of adapting and developing new technologies into practical applications while remaining rooted in the down-to-earth industries they serve.
Carlson Software's renowned dedication to customer service is unique in the industry. To find out more, visit
carlsonsw.com.
But that's an important note, too. It's like, even if you know it's somewhere plus or minus 6 feet, some thought would be, well, if I don't know exactly where it is, I can't put it on there. But this is the opposite of that. This is it's somewhere.
Yeah,
somewhere over here, and that's more important than not including it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I've heard stories. I know people that work at T2 Utility Engineering. You know those guys well. I know you do,
and very much appreciate them.
Yeah. Well, they've told me they use 4M to plan their approach to when they get called to provide SUE services. So if that's not the ultimate compliment, I don't know what is.
Yeah, that definitely. We use T2 as I just work with them recently because we have a agentic approach. We have the visual based reasoning and we have the engineering. Here's the thing: we are betting, and it's not a bet anymore. It's it's proven. Our perceived value is giving you access to data instantly within the environment that helps you to use, to trust, but verify the data. That's the visual based reasoning. We're showing you everything we said, every line that you get from us or every point will be visually verified from multiple places, multiple images from multiple time frames. And to me now, the reasoning now with Claude and AI capabilities, we could actually take the visuals that 4M uniquely has, and we could take the engineering knowledge and to apply the engineering on the visual base that we have. And so what we are planning to do is to train that against the most appreciated industry in leaders and engineers. And T2 is one of the candidates that we want to use to really train the engineers that we are building.
Yeah, for sure. Those guys are always, on the cutting edge of stuff like that. So sounds like a great partnership. You mentioned AI a couple times and even talked a little bit about satellite imagery. Talk about how this all ties together to help build, even a better, map or database of utilities.
Yeah, I as I said, I think our claim is physics is above all. And that's why Google is the digital depiction of the physical world above the ground. And yeah, you can see what's below, but what's above is the physics that indicates what's below. So physics will be the first step. Engineering goes where, it's feasible. So that's the place. Like when we invested heavily to build a computer vision center of excellence to be able to see those indicators from different timeframes, we said, we know to build a network from the visual base. And now we need to apply the engineering. So first we used records. And now I'm going to say something that most people are going to be thinking about, but it took me a few years to realize. The records that you use is the mother of all sins. Because that's the reason professional services exist. You are trying to superposition a crappy data that have been generated by someone within the county, the district, the city, the DOT, without the systems, without the ability to georeference, like the data from a PDF or CAD into a vector data. And you're talking about artificial. When I started to work with those entities, appreciated one, they said, yeah, it's great, but can you give me the diligence and show me where the record is coming from? Because that's the practice. I said, I'm going to give it to you. So I'm taking the record and I'm associating the record to the entity that I took the record from. And to me, I invested heavily to build a conflation engine that could pick one line from thousands of lines. But it's still at the most guessable line, but it's still not the line itself. So I thought, okay, now I need to approach it from a different standpoint. Like maybe I could generate the line with the engineering knowledge. And I would say artificial is the vector line that you get from the city because it's just straight. The fact is not straight. It's like you have bypasses, you have many, many nuances within the field because that's the disconnect between the design to the as-built. So I would say the record research to me, use it as a perfume, smell it, take the attribution out of it, but don't use the line work. Do not try to superposition line that have been generated by a person that you don't know which system you use and when.
Yeah. So it's interesting. It's like 4M is not necessarily competing with traditional SU companies. You guys, it's almost like a partnership, right? Because there's the different quality levels, A, B, C, and D when it comes to SU services. Like what quality level would you say 4M is providing?
Yeah, it's official now. So some of our DOT customers referring officially the quality level D and some of them going to the C. I don't like the comparison because I think you should look on the quality level as an entry point, not endpoints. Okay. And if you're using the quality level Ds to describe places that you don't have enough verifications to support the existence and the state of a line, of an entity. And eventually you go from D to B, to C to B to A, because you don't have reliable data. If you had a substance that could be reliable, you don't have to go. You could use 4M and whatever you need. And I'm offering those. You ask about competition. I don't think I'm competing with them. I think I'm enabling them to be spreaded.
Yep.
Much more they are doing it by their own because SU, and I investigated it with many, many people in the industry because it's a very, very good practice, but it haven't been adopted. It's partially adopted. And the reason, many reasons, but the most, common two reasons, it's timely and costly. And it's a snapshot in time. So you send people to the field, it gives you the depiction, but then it's a design phase. Like it's from 60 to 90% letting, but the construction will start 18 to 36 months afterwards. What do you do then? It's not a live 360. It's not constantly up to date.
Yep.
It's not ready to use. It's just a snippet in time.
That's a really good point.
Even if it's going to be amazing. And by the way, the discrepancies between SU companies is crazy. Like there's, not many T2s out there.
Right.
Everyone could sign and be. Unfortunately, like everyone who wants to be a SEAL company could eventually end up being a SEAL company. And so what I'm enabling is the engineering out of the subsurface, like the investigation and detection. I'm taking significant part of it, but I'm enabling and making SEAL much more affordable and accessible. Yeah. Because you need to have, and this is a claim, you need to have that practice on every project, okay? Nobody's going to use, like 4% of the projects maybe using it. 96% are not using it. With 4M, the adoption curve could be growing very rapidly. If people like think about 4M as you think about Google Stack for the surveying industry. The beginning was like, do not use Google Stack. It's not geo-reference. It's not certified to serve in our industry. Guess what happened to those entities that said not to use Google? I don't think you know about them because they don't exist.
They don't exist. Right. That's great. Well, you mentioned, in surveyors and engineers and contractors. I mean, who's benefiting most from utilizing 4M?
Yeah, our strategy was every construction site taking, just go below my office, 8th Street, Brazos on 8th Street, Austin, downtown. It's a real project. It was a year ago. A utility main upgrade. It's going to be owned by the city of Austin, funded by Travis County. Oversight agency will be Texas DOT. They're going to talk with 20 engineering firms. One is going to be selected. They're going to hire many subcontractors, mapping, designating, all kind of professional service providers. Construction site will be the same, Skanska, Wolf, one of the Kiwit. One of them is going to be selected. And every one of the entities, they need to have like a insurance policy that will probably be 4% of the total spend of their project. But without the ability to really profile a risk, understand the probability to meet and the consequence of meeting the risk. So there is no actuary plan behind that uses AI or anything. And there is more than 30 utility owners, 20 plus just the telcos, completely runs underground. And every one of the 60 potential entities I described has some, I would say GIS system or any other digital system, but none providing what 4M is providing. Nobody is like owning the network, the depiction of the network of all networks. And they need to talk with each other. They need to coordinate with each other. They need to plan. And because of the nature of the value chain within construction and the way it's being built with the delivery methods, some instances you're going to have a conflict of interest.
Sure.
So what we want to be is that substance, is that layer that everybody is talking based upon. So we see in front of us 60 potential buyers. It doesn't mean that we're selling to every one of them in parallel. We started with the engineering and including the SEAL companies because we wanted to get that picky audience to be convinced that we're delivering sufficient value.
Yeah, that was genius.
Once we did it and it was good enough, we shifted to talk with the owner, the king of the right of way, the DOT. Once we convince the DOTs, and many DOTs are using us already, and once we convince the DOTs to trust in us, and we shifted to say, what about the residents, the utilities? Now we started with the utilities, and this is the third vertical. And once we're gonna, make it sufficient, we're gonna go to the local government, and we're gonna talk with the cities, the counties, but we're going to go one by one. And by the way, there is a verticalization here because you need to understand water systems, carriers like the Comcast, the Verizon, the AT&Ts. Everyone has a different approach. One of them is like competition. The other one is about if you're the DOT, if there is something within the right of way that interfere their plans, just remove it. And they probably, I won't say they couldn't care less. They care, but that's what they want. They just want to build. They want to provide efficiency, proficiency, sufficiency to their customers, which is us, the taxpayers. And if it's like gas companies, it's all about safety and risk. And so it depends who you ask. So you need to understand and you can't really Google or Claude or Gemini or ChatGPT Con Ed. you need to go there and you need to meet with Mike de Verligio IV and try to extract from these people the ancestral knowledge that eventually will help you to build the product that they design.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like these utilities that you mentioned, I would think that they would appreciate what you guys are doing, right?
They super appreciate what we do. And they appreciate it because they know how difficult it is.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what an effort to build what you've built. I mean, tremendous upfront effort to do that. So would you consider 4M, are you providing a product or a service, or is it both?
Yeah, I'm using, it's a good question. I'm using from the get-go, when I thought about the product, I thought about a platform. Because I said there is a data play. You first need to create the data asset and the trust. Like I would say the key success driver for 4M is the trust that the customers, if you gain their trust, it's the sign that you want. And so that's the data. The trust comes from how good the data is. And the second layer is the intelligent layer. Like, what are the jobs to be done? When you're thinking about construction and you're thinking about the many workflows that most of them are manual and human intensive, you want to try to take those like conceptual design, environmental study, NEPA study, feasibility study, so investigate. Anything that you do is mostly manual. And the intelligence is to understand the workflows that you use and the system that you use, the Bentley, the Esri, the Trimble, the Autodesk, and try to embed your data to those workflows where customers tend to spend most time. The third element is the agentic. Is actually, instead of just giving you the data and the workflows, they're building agentic play with engineers that actually do everything that it's not just the productivity. It's now you have a capacity thing, and we all about capacity. And this is where everything comes to play. And that's the aha moment to me, like the ability to understand if Comcast core product is telecommunication service, they selling bits and bytes of communication services.
Sure.
So let them be the Comcast. Let them invest. They don't need to talk with the locating company. They don't need to coordinate with many entities because somebody wants to dig with proximity to their lines. Somebody needs to run these activities for them. For them, hope to take that brain and the dispatching asset and everything around their core business without the core business itself.
Yeah.
So that's the way we're looking at it. And like DOTs, some of them will tell you that 4M is the capsule that take you from feasibility to letting in a very sufficient time. And if you are not going to do it, the construction cost will rise, because if you have a budget of 10, 20 billion and you don't spend it on time, the vendors, like the construction companies, engineering companies, the material companies, the factories that produces the concrete and the asphalt and if you are not building fast enough, the cost of building will be rise, because they're going to go after other jobs in other countries or states. And they are not going to produce those materials. So material costs will rise. So 4M is that enabler. Like, that's the way we see. Like, if we work with the DOT, we are not going to just help him deliver the promise to the taxpayers. We're going to help him spend sufficiently the budget that he has to build more and to provide those capabilities to the service.
So I got to jump in here.
Yeah, you go for it.
A little nostalgia. It was 2.5 years ago that we had a group from 4M on. So my question is, what has been the progress of the company in the last 2.5 years? I heard something about a state a month or something like that. How's that going?
Yeah. So when we started, it was from, let's collect the 4 legacy sources, like the vector data, the GIS. Let's collect any pixel that we can from satellites, aerial, drone, mobile mappers, anything, street level, anything that you could collect to extract from the pixels and what we need, the value. let's go to any permit agency that share data on the public space and try to collect that data and to rationalize the data and to understand it because it's text. And let's go also to the CAD environment and try to take the GeoPDF, the PDF, the CAD, the blueprints as a whole and try to geo-reference them, to digitize them and try to mix everything. Mm-hmm. That's how we did it until recently. And then we realized that the computer vision becomes so strong that could be the core and like kind of the compass to everything we do. So we are using the other data sets, but just to for the attribution. And everything we do is mostly based on the visual-based reasoning that we have today. So we don't have 2 open states anymore. So we have 20 open states that we did exactly as you described.
Yeah.
But now every state is available in a matter of decision.
Okay, got it.
Interesting.
Yeah. So how else has the company evolved in that 2.5 years? I mean, what does it look like? Yeah. What did 2.5 years look like to today?
So because we decided to go to the public first approach and to gain the trust of DOT and utility owners, it's a very lengthy, sometimes lumpy go-to-market.
Sure.
But once you're in, it's a very sticky. And if they get the value, if you're waking up every day asking, I'm calling it the 7 W's. And it's kind of, you need to understand, like, first and foremost, who you are selling to and why they are using the product, what value they get by using it. You need to understand, like, when, what they did before they use it, when they're using it, like in the life cycle, if it is like the beginning, the pre-planning or part of the design, or maybe before construction, and where they're using the use case. You need to understand also, I would say, who within the organization needs to use it and yet to be using it. That means you understand the org. You have the mapping behind it. So if you wake up and like seed that discipline to address those fundamentals, you're going to be ended up building a compelling product with a compelling proposition and compelling price. So that's what we're trying to do. And that's what we did in the last 2.5 years. We were like super focused on just going and convince the DOTs that our product is valuable to them. And this is what they need to use it for. And now we're doing the same with the owners, the utility owners, and we're starting with gas and electric. And after we're going to go to telcos, but you have to understand every vertical. And it's a very, very, specific and also like in-depth, process to really understand, what customers really need and what are the challenges that they have and the desires. You need to be perceived as their trusted, advisor. And if you don't spend, 40-60% of your day talking with customers and like understanding the challenges that they have, I don't think you're ever going to get it.
What do you see? Like, is there a different strategy depending on the utility? Like, do you have to deal with the gas company differently than the telco guys?
Yeah, definitely. If you're thinking about the go-to-market effort and who you are selling, the persona, the buying persona, the users, and if you're trying to understand what is driving them, yes, definitely. You may go we have, I would say, 2 markets. We're calling it, one of them is the engineering design. The other one is damage prevention, but I'm calling it a new name that we can't use damage. It's negative. It's too negative. That's the way they call it. Like the USIC is damage prevention. But so we change it to construction, safety, maintenance, and operation. And it's not, by the way, it's not my name. It's Jim Anspach's name, but that's a better way to talk about those 2 states, the design and actually what was implemented, about to be implemented. So, and if you understand what they need, like you have 3 verticals, you have engineering, you have DOTs, and you have utility owners. So we're selling to the first 2 in the first product, in the engineering side. And to the third one, we're selling only in the damage prevention, in the construction safety. But you need to also sell them to the engineering side. So it depends on who are the people? So if you're talking about engineering, it's a different groups within the utility owners. If you're talking about construction safety, it's the damage prevention guys. So it really varies. But you need to understand the organization and what it's trying to promote. And in the gas side, you need to start with a use case, and then innovation will support you, and then to do another one. And then, and before you get to the scale and to the rate case, because eventually you want to get to a rate case when you've been implemented within the practice. And if you've gone through a rate case, that's a very, very good sign, but it usually takes years. And you probably have heard the theme, like that there is a graveyard somewhere that, like you could see the signs, it's kind of, killed by utilities.
Oh,
interesting. So we've gone through a lot, and we could probably keep this going for another 2 hours, but, to be respectful of your time, I want to give you the opportunity to share with our listeners, like what the business model looks like. I mean, is it a subscription? Are you like buying sites? I mean, what does it look like? Yeah,
so our unit metric today is linear lane, of right of way. But if somebody used to buy linear footage, you could translate it to linear footage. And we are selling packages of subscription. So if you want to work with us, you have to buy hundreds to thousands of project volume. Buy the linear lane. That's the unit metric.
Sure.
And that's only the basics. That's the data. If you're an enterprise customer, you have the capabilities, the enterprise grade capabilities, and like all kind of API. And so that's the first layer. The second layer is the workflows that come separately. And the agentic is something that will be launched in the next couple of months. So that's going to be probably more likely to be query driven.
Topodot. They're an original.
I know. They are an OG friend of the program.
Topodot, if you didn't know, is a comprehensive solution to manage point cloud data, assess data quality, and extract topographies, models, analysis, and other forms of digital twins.
Yeah, geospatial data acquired along road, rail, utility, and other land survey applications present unique processing challenges.
The Topodot production process is designed to meet these challenges with the right balance between automation and quality, thereby ensuring complex project requirements are met at the lowest possible cost.
And I know you've heard about these guys, but to find out more, go to topodot.com. Safety Apparel is another one of our long-term supporters of the show, born from the lack of quality and functional gear in the safety industry and frustrated to find no other options. Matthew Stansberry has reinvented safety apparel with the highest quality materials and most functional and versatile vests the safety industry has ever seen. They call it the Party Chief.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, right.
With many applied options, including, but not limited to, silkscreen, sublimation, patches, embroidery, and heat transferred images, they can provide your company with the clothing and art you need to look sharp and professional.
Yeah, that's right. Send Matt an email with your needs, and he will do the best he can to get you headed in the right direction. That email, info@safetyapparel.us. Explain that to me a little bit more. I don't know what query driven means.
Yeah, it's probably going to be similar to AI tokens. It's going to be consumption based. It's going to be based on tokens that we're going to have. And so you're going to buy a package, and you could utilize the package and buy for more. So it's going to be consumption versus subscription.
So I could get like the 100 feet outside my house if I wanted to, in little pieces at a time.
Yeah, but the extraction, if you want to have some engineering capabilities on top of it, it's going to be by the queries. It's going to be by the tokens.
Okay, got it.
The data that you are triggering will be by the linear mile of lane.
Okay.
And that's how we describe a project.
And then you're looking for large scale projects, right?
Yeah, we
thousands of miles.
No, we could do small ones. We could do anything. So the data is like it's almost real time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we don't care about the size. We do, like, if it's too small, like abusing the system. So
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about, how big a file? Like, how do you deal with that file size? Right. I mean, we're talking, I'm guessing that's the question. How are you managing the data and just from a size and logistics standpoint?
Yeah. So the hosting of the data is based on, the cloud. But because we are not hosting the imagery, so we extracting the data, it's not so heavy.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's not so heavy. We are not like a imagery company. Like, it's not like we have, terabytes of imagery that we need to store and manage. It's just, we're just building a network. Eventually you want to get the network and the evidences that comes with it. So,
okay.
Because everybody has a base maps. I could send you the data on, any.
Yeah. That's out there, right?
Yeah.
It's what you're getting, which was what you're getting from it.
The representation of the data on the base map that you use is our value.
Right. Interesting. Okay.
Gotcha. Are you providing information for just public utilities or private utilities as well?
We're doing it both. Like, we're going after
both.
Public and private markets. Yes.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. What else? So, like, what does the future look like? Like, what's going to happen? Like, how much more evolving does 4M have over the next 5 years?
Yeah. So if we're talking about, like, the inspiration to 4M, our nemesis, USIC, and yeah, so I would say that USIC, to me, USICs, it's not just them, but they're the biggest one, is the yellow cabs. You're still going to see them, but less.
Yeah.
Because you're going to use Uber, or in some cases, I don't know if you have in Phoenix, Waymo.
We do. We have Waymo.
Yeah. One of the 6 cities. Yeah. So Waymo is the agentic side of 4M. We want to be the Uber and the Waymo.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, I love that comparison. That's awesome.
That's the way I like to describe the future for anybody who, like, yeah.
Yeah. So, like, if you were, were able to get in front of, a bunch of surveyors, a bunch of engineers, like, what's the mindset shift you would like to convey to them when it comes to 4M and in what you're providing?
Yeah, I'm trying to be very gentle with anybody I'm talking with. I don't want to be arrogant, but I will say something that may sound as a claim. I think if you are professional, and this is not, I said it a couple of years ago, but now I am hearing this from the professionals. If you are a professional service provider and you obligated to provide the best service to your customer, and there is a system out there, AI company, whatever, that could deliver you something that will support your practice eventually, you are obligated to go and use it. And if you find the value in it, you're obligated to attach it to your procedure. And if you're not doing so, then you missed the mark of, the obligation you have as a professional. So I think I don't want to talk about 4M as, as an idea. Any technology out there, go and be open-minded. The AI is not like just kind of a buzzword. Yeah, I know it's very difficult to differ between the noise to the signal about AI, but it's true. AI is real and is coming, and it's not going to replace people. It's going to enable people. And I think it's going to create more jobs than it's going to kill. Go, try, use, and you would never go back.
Yeah. Yep. Love that.
I mean, is it possible? I mean, I really want, like, when I open Google Maps and I click on the button of, like, the different layers, I want, like, a utility layer is like utility layer powered by 4M or something. And you click it and, like, oh, here's all the stuff.
Yeah. The 4M layer.
Yeah. When can we get that?
I think this is a good, if we could snap it and send it to Google, that's going to be a very good, first
good soundbite.
First line to the, to the day. To the day we're going to have. I know, because Google has the space, has the earth, the Google Map stack. They don't have the below ground. So definitely something to think about if anybody It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm kidding. We're here to stay and to build like a very meaningful company. You don't get to see many companies that strive above the 1 billion. Why? Because there are too big other companies that are acquiring them so quickly.
Oh yeah, right.
And so if Autodesk, Bentley, Trimble hearing me now, it's not for sale.
Not yet.
Everything is for sale, but it's not. It's
right.
Not right now.
But unfortunate to have investors that really understand, and not just understand, go and spend the time to search the industry that we are in, and we want to change and impact for the good. And they really given me the ability to look ahead 10 years and not just, where's the money? Show me the revenue, show me the ARR. No, they really understand that it's not like such a fast and furious. It needs to be a very succinct, very deep, very patient to get to the company that we want to build. But eventually, it's going to be one platform that will consolidate many, many, many workflows and enable you many, many things that you couldn't do before that.
Yeah. I mean, and it's evolving. It's very dynamic, right?
Yeah.
Which is what makes it that much more exciting. I'm curious, like from a global perspective, like European countries are ahead of us in a lot of ways. Do they have something like this in place?
Yeah, I would say in London, like in the UK, you have the NUA. It's a National Utility Register Authority. I don't know, like asset register, National Utility Asset Register. It's a very, very similar to 4M, very compelling, managed by the government. So we have still dysfunctional conversations, but they trying to convince me to come to the UK. But the challenge in the US is such a, like big, complicated, and you need to be very focused because the differences between doing, Texas to doing Colorado to doing Illinois is like you need to really verticalize the states, not just the utilities, the states.
Interesting.
And to understand like the nuances within the states. If you want to work with Georgia DOT, okay, that's one. What about Georgia Power? Let's see you go into Georgia Power first. And those connections, so it's such a like big like to me, there's so much to do here. So I don't even think what's going to be the next country.
Yeah. It's how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time.
Exactly.
This is a utility elephant. 4M's taking it on. I love it. So how do people find out more?
I'm open to have conversations with anybody. We are very approachable and accessible. I could share, my email. It's easy to find us. And would be happy to work with anyone is open to try technology innovation. And we would be happy to be part of his procedures and help him to achieve anything and to complete the jobs to be done from their sides.
Yep. And what's the website?
It's 4M Analytics. It's easy. Like you're not going to be confused. There's only 3M and the better company is 4M. So
what is the purpose of the name, or where did it come from? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah. Actually, there is the truth and a good story. What do you want?
The good story.
Yeah. So the good story is like it's because it was coming from detection and clearance of landmines. 4M, it's like 4M in Texan, like 4M for somebody else, for them.
Oh, interesting. Yeah,
and it's also 4M for them in Hebrew and English.
Okay.
M, it's
all right.
them.
I love it.
Yeah, that's the good story. But the truth is, we were like 4 people and 4 minds. And
okay, yeah, I love it.
There's nothing better like a good story.
Yeah, I love a good story for sure. Before we let you get out of here, is there anything else that maybe we haven't touched on that you want to make sure you talk about?
But before, like I remember that the last All Hands that I had with the company, I said the next time, because we talked about like the way to demo the product. I said, if somebody's asking you about what's the name stands for, said it take you 4 minutes to sell their product. So that's the better story. Yeah.
That's great.
I like that one.
That's awesome. What else? Anything else over there, buddy?
No, that's good stuff, man.
Really good stuff.
It seems like, seems like you guys are really, on the way up and just keep going. I mean, I love the idea of going to the utility companies.
Growing exponentially.
Yeah.
Like, all the
sounds
time.
like.
It's incredible. Like to see, like, I think we had Raz on like 2.5 years ago, and to see where you guys are now compared to 2.5 years ago, it's mind blowing, really.
Yeah. It's fun to see the concept get into action. So it's cool.
Yep, absolutely. Well, and we got to make sure we failed to do this earlier. Thank you guys for being a friend of the program. You know, like we would not exist if it wasn't for support from companies like 4M Analytics. So,
absolutely.
You know, I want to make sure to get that out there.
Yeah.
What else, man? You got your last question for
I
me?
always have one last question. We save it till the end. Do you have a mantra that you live by?
A mantra that I live by. That's a good one. Like probably I do. But that's, I would recently, I found, do you know, we started maxing, like the overthinking community that started.
Yeah.
So like, I would say, don't ask too many questions. If you want to do something, just go and do it. Don't think about the consequences. If you see, if you are single and there is a beautiful lady at the end of the bar and you don't think there is a chance she's going to respond to you, just say max, she's going to say yes.
Yeah.
If that's the approach, you're going to launch missiles to the sky and build SpaceX. I don't know.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
Don't ask too many questions. I love that.
Yeah, love it.
So good. Well, Itzik, thank you so much for your time. I've thoroughly enjoyed this conversation.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And super excited about what 4M's doing.
Thank you. Thank you for hosting me. It was a pleasure talking to you. It was a really nice conversation. The only ask I have, I want to know who got the better rating, me or Raz?
Well, to be determined. We will let you know.
I mean, the podcast has come a long way.
We've come a long way as well.
Our audience has grown, so we don't want to take that against Raz.
I have a feeling it's going to be you.
Yes.
All right.
That's the only thing that I care about.
Something tells me we know where our bread's buttered, and we'll give you the answer you're looking for.
Yep, for sure. All right. Thanks again. It's a great conversation. Adding value, making friends.
Check that box.
What we do. Anyone would like to be a guest on a future show, shoot us an email at info@geoholics.com. Would love to get some fresh perspectives.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Yep.
Always looking for that.
Shoot us an email. Would love to hear from you. Huge thanks to this week's featured partners, Emlid, Topodot, Altair Central, Leica, David Evans and Associates, Diamondback Land Surveying, and of course, our good friends at 4M Analytics.
Absolutely.
Cooper Allen, Plead the Fifth, available everywhere. Until next time, everyone, a couple takeaways here. Gain the trust of your customer. Be open-minded. AI is real.
I didn't know there were 7 W's.
Don't discount it. And last but not least, don't ask too many questions. Most importantly, be safe and healthy.
Some big old bouncer dumps. He kicked me out, I snuck back inside. And that's how I got these 2 black eyes. I got lonely, called my ex. Second I come over, she said I guess. So I called a lift. He picked me up. About halfway there, I blew some chunks. He kicked me out on Cherry Street. About that time I saw blue lights blink. Said you can't be here, can't sleep here. So I went to the Quick Mart, bought a beer. Went back to where that cop was parked. And I poured that High Life on his car. And he put me in the back with a dude named Mark. Wound up at the station and here we are. When I see that judge at 8 a.m., I know my